Weddings cost money, and that's a fact. And that's the reason I encourage my couples, before you get started with wedding planning, one of the first things you should do is actually have a money talk, a money discussion, where you get to find out exactly how much money might be available to you as you start to plan your wedding. If you've seen my other videos where I have talked about budget, I have talked about the importance of a budget, what a budget is, how to allocate the budget, and all things related to budget. And we are at this junction where we are actually asking ourselves a question about the size of the budget. Thanks to Dr. Google, I Googled, yes, to find out exactly what couples are curious about when it comes to the budget. And in fact, the very top ranking question that many couples have asked is, what is a good budget for the wedding? Yes, I wrote it down so I read it the proper way. What is a good budget for the wedding? Basically, you're asking what principles should guide you in determining the size of your budget. So let's get right into it. Hey there, I'm Kemi, an on-demand wedding planner, and I help engage couples with the guidance and coaching needed to navigate the wedding planning journey. Need help with brainstorming, tips and tricks, or just a listening ear? I'm the girl to call. So let's connect. It's great having an opportunity to connect and interact with you this way. If you have connected with me before, or if we've interacted this way before, I say hello again to you. Thank you for the support, the encouragement, the likes, and everything that you've done in helping to promote my channel and to get the word that I have across to other people. If this is your first time interacting with me this way, hello, and thank you for stopping by. I have all the videos that I believe will be useful to you, and I would link them. I'll put a link in the description section so you can actually just click and go take a watching after you've seen this video. And in the meantime, remember to subscribe to my channel. For those of you who were just meeting or you've seen me before and you're yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe, and please also hit the notification bell so that way you get alerted whenever I publish a new video, because I want to ensure that you have all the resources and the tools and everything that is helpful to you, especially through this wedding planning journey. I believe the wedding planning journey should be enjoyable, either if you are working with a wedding planner or if you decide to plan your wedding yourself. And yes, you can plan your wedding yourself. I keep saying it, and I have videos where I have talked about how to determine if you can plan your wedding yourself or if you should plan your wedding yourself and what to do if you decide. So all of that you can find on my channel. I'll put necessary links in the description section, but if you can't find it and it's easier, just go over, click on my channel name, and that will take you to my page, and you can see all the videos that I have published. My last couple of videos have been about budgeting. We've gone over what the budget is the budget important, who determines the budget, how do you figure out exactly how much money might be available for you to spend on your wedding, and even down to allocating the budget. And I'm going to have a link for all of those videos, a playlist in the description section. So all you do is just click on it and you can see all the videos in the lineup. And today's video is going to answer a question that I believe is burning on the minds of almost every couple and their parents and friends and neighbors and well-wishers and even wedding planners, your wedding vendors generally. We want to know exactly how much is your budget. And you're asking yourselves, how much should we set our budget to be? What amount is too much? What is too little? And all of that. In answering a question about the size of the budget, I'm going to be using three rules, and these rules are going to be pointers that help us in answering this question, and we're just going to check off for each of these points. And I think a good thing for you to do would be to get a pen and a paper, and you write out these rules, these points, and you talk about it with your spouse. And it's a time for true reflection and being very true with yourselves. You're going to be building a life together anyway, so you shouldn't be hiding anything for yourselves. And this is, like I say, with everything about wedding planning, it's a trial run of what your marital life is going to be like. So the very first point I have for you is, whatever amount you decide to set for your wedding budget, it should be proportionate to your financial status. So whatever amount you decide you want to have for your wedding budget should match what your financial status is, not what it's going to be or what it was, but what it currently is, because we are planning with the now, because it's now that we know. And of course, everybody prays to get to a better financial status, and you're going to get there if you do all that is needed to be done. However, your wedding is now, so we're going to plan with the now that we know. Whatever your financial status is, let's assume you are a middle income earner. then plan your wedding like have a budget that is proportionate to a middle income earners kind of wedding. Do not plan a wedding that is a celebrity grade, a top earner income level if you are not at that level, because that's unnecessary pressure you're going to be applying to yourself and your spouse and even the wedding vendors that are working with you. And you do not want to start wedding planning, or you don't want to go through wedding planning with that amount of stress just in your life. Whatever your wedding budget is, it should match your status as of now in terms of your finances. And the next point I'm also going to share is similar to this. It's also that your wedding budget should not lead you into unnecessary financial entrapments. I am very strongly of the opinion that you do not need to take a loan for your wedding. And that's just me. I don't know about other people. I'm not speaking for other people. And I understand, like everything in life, there are exceptions. It's possible that you've estimated you're going to have this amount of money, and you started to plan your wedding with that in mind, and life happens, something happens, and you do have to reach for extra support financially. Well, that's an exception. You are only getting a loan because something happened to the original provision that you made. That's understandable. But if you're starting out with wedding planning, and then you're also including, a certain amount of loan that you're going to take for the wedding, I just feel it can be avoided. Hey, it's your wedding. It should be a day that you're happy to celebrate the love that you share with this partner of yours, and you're just sharing it with your friends and family members. And if they are truly your friends and family members, whichever way you have your wedding, they're going to be happy for you still. Yes, you can dream of all the things and fixtures and things you want to have in your wedding. That's fine. If you want all the bells and whistles, it's your life and it's your wedding. You can have all the bells and whistles in your wedding. But if you are in a financial status where you can't have all those things, plan your wedding with what you have. Whatever amount you have, it will be sufficient for the wedding that is just right for you. Because what? Your wedding is going to be about love and happiness and the life that you have ahead of you. And if that's what you bear in mind as you're planning your wedding, then your budget, no matter the amount, will be sufficient for you. I intentionally chose the word financial entrapment because sometimes it's not just a loan. Sometimes it's there are instances where you get into compromising commitments or situations that it's not necessarily a loan, but you've just tied yourself to a commitment that you can't back out of because you needed to have a certain wedding budget. That's unnecessary. Do not make unnecessary compromises, things like that. So whatever kind of thing comes to mind when it comes to a financial entrapment, and then you can Google what an entrapment is, but an entrapment basically is just a situation that binds you to something. So if you are in a condition, if you find yourself having to bend unnecessarily or to commit unnecessarily, either if it's to getting an extra credit card or a loan or anything, you do not necessarily need to do that for your wedding. I think it's not needed. You should not be planning a wedding at the expense of your happiness and the life that you're going to be having together. The very last point I'm going to share here, I'm trying to keep it simple because hey, let's get the information we need and let's run with it. The last point I'm going to share with you is this: your wedding budget should be realistic. It should be realistic to cover the vision that you're having for your wedding. As a wedding planner, and hey, if you're a wedding planner and you're watching this video, please comment below, give me a shout out and let me know if I'm doing the right thing or not, or if I've said something off. And besides that, please also leave your information in the comment section so people can connect with you. There's enough fish in the ocean for everybody. We should build a community where we're helping couples plan weddings that are truly remarkable and memorable. So it would be nice to connect with you. And hello, if I have not said hello to you, wedding planner. But wedding planners will tell you one of the first things they want to know exactly is, what's your budget? You want to have this, and this. Okay, yes sir, yes ma'am, but what exactly is your budget? Not just your wedding planner, your cake designer, your videographer, and in fact, even down to your attire, everything. Every vendor wants to know what your budget is because we're asking ourselves, okay, yes, I hear you. You want to have all of these bells and whistles, but can you cater to that experience? So your wedding budget should be realistic enough to cover the expectations that you have. You want to have all your bridal party come down the aisle on horses? That's doable, but can you pay for it? You want to serve all the serving course meal items? That's good. Can you pay for it? So we want to know. It is not unheard of for top income earners to plan a wedding that is below their status. It's not unheard of. The fact that you have all that money does not mean that you have to spend all that money. So it's okay. However, what would be inappropriate is if a middle income earner starts to plan a wedding like you are a top income earner. That is, like I said, it's unnecessary pressure, but that's not even being realistic also. So let's run through it using real life examples here. Let's assume that whatever your financial status is, you're deciding, you're Googling, and in fact, I'm going to read quickly here. It says the average cost of wedding in the year 2023 is $29,000 nationally. And it actually goes as high as $35,000 in some cities. So let's just go with the average, $29,000, roughly $30K, because you need to have buffers too. Let's assume we're just saying the average is $30K. Okay. So you're doing your research work, you find out that the average is $30K, you're thinking, okay, we're going to make our budget $30K. So now let's ask ourselves these questions and see if truly you can afford to have a wedding budget that is $30,000. First question, is $30K proportionate to your financial status? Basically, what that means is after you've taken out all your expenses and your savings and all the financial commitments that you have, and if you were to save your money for the duration of the wedding planning, would you be able to make $30K? If yes, then you can set $30K to be your wedding budget per that question. But if after you've taken out your bills and every other thing that you need to do, it's going to be a struggle for you to make $30K, then maybe you shouldn't have a $30K budget. Question 2. Should you, it says, do not get into unnecessary financial entrapments. So you're working with $30K. In order to have a $30K budget, would you need to get a loan? Are you getting a loan because you have some money you were expecting and it did not come through, and your wedding is close, you don't have all the time in the world to save up for your wedding, and maybe a quick $2K, $2,000, here, or $5,000 here would help? If that's your situation, and this is just it's just situational, maybe the loan is needed and it's a financial entrapment that you can live with. Well, if that's your situation, then maybe $30K budget can be realistic, it can be accessible for you. But if that is not your situation and you've just decided, I'm going to get a loan for the sake of getting a loan, then maybe a $30K budget is not ideal for you. Maybe you need to go lower. If you also need to get into other types of financial entrapments, you have to compromise on something, or you have to make a commitment for something. Let's assume you're saying, oh, I'm going to wash your car for free for the rest of the year, just so I can have this favor. I am canvassing the idea that except it is necessary, and that's why I said unnecessary, except it's a necessary thing that you must have, then that's justifiable. But if it's just a feeling and it's not necessary and it's just because, then think twice before you get into such situations, because it is not needed, and ideally it is not the best way to start your marital life. And then the third question we're also going to be asking ourselves, bearing in mind that we are working with a $30,000 budget, is your wedding budget realistic enough to cover the vision that you're having for your wedding? Is $30,000 realistic for the dream that you have for your wedding? Would $30,000 pay for the real flowers that you have? Would the $30,000 pay for the 7-layer cake that you want? Would $30,000 for the budget, will it cover the ball gown that you want to wear and all that? If the answer is no, then maybe $30,000 is not the budget size you should be working with. Maybe you should increase your budget size if it is doable. And if you must stick with $30,000, then it means you would have to probably make adjustments to the things that you want to feature in your wedding. At the end of the day, you should enjoy wedding planning, and above all, you should be present enough to enjoy your wedding celebration. You don't want to be on the dance floor and you're dancing and you see someone eating the cake and like, do you know how much I paid for that cake? You better don't waste it. That's not what you want. You want to have that mind space to enjoy, and that is what I am canvassing here. That is what I am trying to pass along to you. You can have whatever kind of wedding you want, as long as it is your budget is realistic enough to cover it, and you are not getting into unnecessary financial entrapments for it, and it also matches your status. You truly can afford that amount. I have enjoyed passing this information across to you, and I believe it will be good also if you share it with other people, because we need to be money smart and we need to start things the right way. We need to start wedding planning the right way. And I say it again, whatever you do during wedding planning is just a trial run of what you're going to be having in your marital home. If you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today, the good thing to do will be to pass it on, to share with other people. So share, hit the share button and share with a friend. Share, copy the link and paste it somewhere so other people can watch it. And hey, I have been talking for a couple of minutes here, so you should have subscribed already. So subscribe to my channel, and also yes, hit the notification bell so you get to know when I have another video. We're going to go into series C, and C, I had asked in my previous video what you think C would be in this lineup of planning the wedding using A to Z as an anchor point. So I'm going to ask you again, what do you think letter C should represent in this lineup of planning the wedding? If A is advice and B is budget, what do you think letter C should be? Till we meet again, I hope that you have a wonderful experience with your wedding planning journey. If you have questions, please leave your questions below and I will do my best to answer them. If you are in the process of planning your wedding and you're deciding, I'm going to do this myself, we're going to plan our wedding ourselves, I would love to work with you and help you along the way. You get to do the planning, but I'm just there as a guide to answer questions, to share resources with you, and to point you in the right directions according to industry standards. So that way you're planning the wedding like a professional did it. But you guess what? You don't have to book my services as a wedding planner for the whole duration of the wedding planning journey. You just have me on demand, and that's why I refer to myself as your wedding planner on demand, because I am on demand as per when you need my help. Till we'll meet again, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Connect with me on Instagram. I am at 101 Events ATL. It would be great to build a community over there also. And till we meet, have a very wonderful time. Goodbye.